Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Walmart exclusive, oh boy, Vampire Superman, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. This is chronologically the next installment in the, is it Justice League versus the Vampires subline in the DC Multiverse. That said, this appears to be a Walmart exclusive thing. Moving forward, I think Damian Wayne is supposed to be the next figure after the Green Lantern, who we will take a look at tomorrow. The Green Lantern, not Damian Wayne. I didn't go into the future, get one of those, and bring it back to the past, although that would be very helpful for views. But the next one up, next one in line, however you want to swing it, is good old Clark Kent, aka Super Dweeb here. So, cutting right to the chase, getting into the meat and taters of this review. Of course, comes with a collectible trading card. Right there. On the back, there's a bio, which, again, I don't think really explains this comic, but there it is. You can pause and read it if you want. If you can read it, that is. And in the way of his accessories, actual accessories that kind of matter to, you know, people who collect action figures, he does come with a pair of super gnarly looking claw hands, which don't look like they have arthritis. They're not perfect. I think the Joker one was probably the best one, same with the Batman. They both had really cool claw hands, but this guy, not too shabby. Almost kind of doing a point and pose there. So taking a closer look at the Man of Steel. Of course, comes with the hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases at this current time. There you go. At least I hope that's a DC one. If it's not, show me, I don't care. It's the same mold at least. I got that right, didn't I? It's the same sculpt. That's what I thought. But as far as this vampire line goes, I gotta tell you, not the biggest Superman fan, but I think so far, out of the ones I've looked at on this channel, Superman's the best one. He's got a really cool looking head sculpt. Look at that. That's not some scream bloody gore shiznit. I don't know what it is. That's a really, really cool. I will say, I don't care for the cape sculpt that much, but it is soft, so it does get out of your way. But I would have just preferred, I don't know, something more relaxed. It's a little busy for me. That said, it looks like it hangs right off the body. Maybe a little bit much over here as far as bunching up goes, but not terrible. But in the way of Supes' articulation, he can look up quite a bit. Quite a lot, actually. Look at that. He can look straight up, just about. Because he has a double ball peg in the neck, Marvel Legends fans. I don't know what you're talking about. He can't look down a whole lot, but he can look up really, really well. So, that's good. He does have some tilt side to side. He can look side to side. He also has shoulders that go out, back, down. They do rotate. He's got that cap joint in there, so you get that butterfly movement, or pretty much just adjustment posing. He does have a bicep swivel. He's got a double elbow, which unfortunately does give you the cliffs of Dover, especially on the back. I'm trying to get the front to bend. Let me see if I can do that without making Evil Villain nervous. If I can get a grip on a darn thing. There we go. I gotta pop it, but yeah, it's pretty gappy. It's pretty bad looking. Not gonna lie. So yeah, they gotta fix that. Eventually in this line, I'd like to see that kind of worked out, because yeah, I get it's an action figure, stupid commenter, but at the same time, you can cut that and make it not look atrocious, like Hasbro does that, and we all know how atrocious they can be with certain things, like sculpting skulls and hoods. He does have a ball joint in the wrist, or a ball hinge, excuse me, that does rotate at both ends, as well as hinge. And I'm pretty sure these are his alt hands, or his fisted hands. I'm not 100% sure. They were in a bag with a lot of alt hands, but these are the ones that fit him the best, so I'm going to say that those are his. I guess we'll just move his arms out of the way here. Do the Viagra work for me pose. Woohoo! He does have a diaphragm joint that does work pretty well. Can crunch forward and back. Tilt side to side. Does rotate as well. He's got a waist twist. I don't want to push joints too far on these because I don't want to make them loose. Especially with this cape here. I like to have him not flop all over the place like a mess. He does have T-jointed hips that can kick out, back down, forward, and back. He has a tiny thigh quiver. Not a lot to write home about. He does have a double jointed knee, which doesn't have the Cliffs of Dover, but it's very smoothed out and just kind of looks funky when you use it. Then he has a hinge in the foot with a swivel in the top, rocker on the bottom, and a toe joint. Not loose, not the tightest thing ever, but it's not loose, so I'll take it. But that's your lot. That is Superman in a nutshell. I want to say he's on the infected Superman body mixed with some new stuff, but I honestly cannot tell. I do have the Superman from the Doomsday 2-pack handy for comparison, so we're going to see how that looks. See how he stacks up next to him, because I think that's the closest thing we got to this body, if this isn't a new body. Because to me, this seems like a really solid Superman figure in this line, and it's not a regular Superman. It's a crazy monster variant, much like the zombie Superman or, you know, the infected Superman. I thought that was a really strong release as well. Also Bizarro. I liked Bizarro too. Even though that's not technically Superman, it technically is, even though he's just a clone, right? But with that being said, let's move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is the Vampire Superman, alongside the closest thing I had handy to the infected Superman body buck. This is the Superman from the Doomsday 2-pack, complete with painted on battle damage. We'll have to talk about that at a later date. As well as the Vampire Batman, also from this Walmart exclusive Vampire line. And is it just me, or is this year 2 Batman body buck getting real old and just doesn't scale well with anything? He's taller than Superman, guys. I mean, look at his head. It's almost off screen. I think it's time they start using that Nightfall Batman body. What do you think? Not the Azrael Batman one, but the regular, you know, standard looking streamline body buck that they just put out recently. Yeah, I think it's about time we retire this old dog and bring that new dog in. But getting these two out of the way here. I still like this Vampire Batman, but he's just too freaking huge. He's a behemoth. It's insane. This, of course, would not be one of my reviews without the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus. And the MK11 Spawn. Who, of course, scale quite nicely with good old Soups here. So, with that being said, it's time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from some of the articulation limitations that this figure does have, and the fact that it's, you know, a freaking Walmart exclusive. I mean, let's be real here. Those are the worst. I gotta tell you, out of this, is it Justice League versus the Vampires? I don't know. Whatever it's called, out of this whole line, this is one of the better offerings. I like him more than the Joker. I like him a lot more than the Batman. And before I forget, I'd like to give a shout out to the local friend who shall not be named for privacy reasons for helping me obtain this figure, even though he's a bit of a peg llama. I mean, you could walk in and find several of these on the peg still, which is insane considering the fact that a year ago, that was not even close to the case. So, if you come across this guy in the wild, definitely pick him up and check him out. I think he's a really solid offering in this line. much better than the previous two, and quite frankly, even comparing him to a figure utilizing the same parts as Infected Superman, I almost think he's got a lot more new stuff going on than I allegedly thought. So there's that too. And it's always nice to get new parts, especially when, you know, there are people who give you a million excuses as to why they can't do that. Hasbro. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.